Hi, it's David from Beastie Geeks. Today we are going to visit Kilforth, a land having rather bad luck cause it's once again in danger from the gloom and ancient ones, and you, the hero, will try to put this danger to an end. Shadow of Kilforth from Whole of Nothing Production is a standalone sequel to Gloom of Kilforth, widely appreciated adventure card game with very strong theme. I've played 3 sessions of Shadows of Kilforth, one with Greg, one solo and one with 4 players at the table, and it's time to share our impressions. So, what do we think about Shadows of Kilforth, and where is the difference between this game and Gloom? Let's find out. As you probably figured out from this video title, Shadows is very similar to its prequel. We get exactly the same game mechanics. The rulebook is almost a copy-paste with some improvements. Difference are graphics on the cards, we have new actions on them, new keywords, new sagas to complete, and new ancient ones to defeat. But the only new mechanic we found is the affiliation. You can be part of Rose or School faction, and depending on your choice, it will give a tiny help with some events and night cards. Serving so similar game again is maybe not a con. It's a shame that developer didn't go crazy with sagas and bosses by adding new mechanics and challenges. It's still the same game where you collect keywords on cards and fight the boss at the end of the game. Mentioning the keywords, the core system of the game is still flawless and serves probably the best usage of keywords we've ever encountered. When traveling from one location to another, you will discover new places, events, enemies and strangers on your path. And each of these encounters is unique, because every card in the game is entirely different, serving not only a new art, but also new challenges, actions and keywords. Your goal is to both survive and collect cards with specific keywords to complete chapters of your personal story. And when you reach the final of your story, you are ready to defeat the boss before will be covered by Gloom entirely. Keywords are the very core of this game, and their clever implementation is not only a mechanic but also a very good way to merge it with the story without ruining the immersion of the game. The biggest difference between Shadows and Gloom is the theme. Where arts and texts on the card in Gloom of Kilforth were close to classic fantasy adventure, Shadows is serving full orient, from the ninjas, bow staffs and katanas to eastern temples, creatures and landscape. Guess it's a matter of personal taste, but for us, cards in Shadows are even more beautiful than in Gloom. Once again, each graphic is a journey itself. It's a very similar experience to admiring Arkham Horror LCG cards, where every card is a separate scene with own story. And graphic arts, together with the flavor text on them and the general construction of the game, provides an incredibly immersive experience. It's very easy to feel like an adventurer in the world of Kilforth. It's the strongest pro of this game in our eyes. The only thing I'm missing is an explanation why suddenly Kilforth became oriental, where the castle from the box promises again a rather classic fantasy experience. I'm fixed about keeping everything in order when I play board games, and Shadow is my biggest nemesis in this matter. This is also the reason I'm not playing this game as often as I want to. We have no board here. Every one of the 25 locations is just a card laying horizontal on the table without anything to hold to. And during the session, you are supposed to lie extra cards on each location to show encounters you can take. The problem is that it's hard to lay cards without covering important info of location and previous cards, not mentioning how easy it is to do a lot of mess on the table during the process, and keeping everything in order requires a massive amount of patience from the player. But it's necessary to track everything that is happening on the table and playing according to the rules. So, dear player, you have a few options here. Invest in a playmat to keep everything organized, or set up a game on a table big enough to have huge gaps between each location, or buy standees, 4 cards, to keep them standing vertically, or just go mad trying to keep everything in order. Shadows play best alone, period. It's much easier to feel the world and its theme when only one person dictates the pace of the game. Competitive mode, it's not entirely fair because you can have bad luck while drawing cards with keywords you are looking for. Plus, it's much easier to track the game's progress and keep order at the table with fewer players during the session. Do you have Gloom of Kilforth and you wonder if Shadows is a must-buy for you? If you don't mind that Shadows is not introducing anything new, then go for it. If you are looking for an entirely new experience, better check different games from Hall of Nothing or wait for the upcoming Sublime Dark Kickstarter from the same publisher. If you want to start your Kilforth journey and you wonder which version you should pick, follow the theme. For strong, more classic fantasy theme, pick Gloom of Kilforth. For an oriental perspective, choose Shadows of Kilforth. Okay guys, that's all for today, and see you at the next game.